Yo, what's up? I wanted to make another video. I just feel like I have so much to say, so much to share. I don't even know what subject to start with. I don't even know what to talk about. I probably should have made notes or been more organized, but I just want to speak. I just want to see what comes to me. The first thing, I've had this 3-year insane spiritual journey. I just finished writing my piece about it. I guess I could go into detail about it here, but it's long. It's a long story. Long story short, I basically spent the past 3 years in a living hell. I started off the psychiatric route. I tried all sorts of bipolar medications, antidepressants, everything on the market. It all made me worse. It was soul suicide. It made me a numb zombie floating around, watching TV, eating greasy foods all day. I couldn't concentrate on anything. It was awful. Panicking all day, every day. Despair, depression. Labels don't do it justice. Eventually, I said, you know what? Fuck this. The world's been lying to me. Society's been lying to me. Mental illness is way more complex than all of this. It has to be. I went to the Amazon jungle. I did one ayahuasca ceremony. Knocked me on my ass. Ended up in a mental institution after that. Mental hospital. I'm not going to exaggerate it. It was just a mental hospital for 5 days. Woke up after the second day. I was like, I got to go back to the jungle. This plant was just showing me exactly the level of pain that's living inside of me. So I went back to the jungle. I spent 6 months in the Amazon jungle. Did 21 ayahuasca ceremonies. Non-stop work. Non-stop breathing, stretching, yoga, raw food, cleansing, enemas, colonics, everything in the book. You name it. You name it, I've done it. Earthing, sun gazing, meditation, vipassana. My entire day, every day, was laser-like focus, concentrating on the moment, on my breath, on light, and on love. I would sing to myself daily just to distract myself from the dark thoughts. Came home from the jungle. I felt decent. Okay, I felt like I had a total new perspective on life, but there was this ever-present anxiety just gripping, clawing at my insides. I couldn't figure out what it was. I decided to go back to the jungle a third time to do a dieta. A dieta is an apprenticeship in shamanism, where you learn from the master plants of the Amazonian jungle. They teach you how to navigate the spiritual space. All these trees, all of these plants that are everywhere around us, they all have incredible lessons for humanity. They all have infinite wisdom to share with us. But instead, we're learning from pharmaceutical drugs and McDonald's. These trees are really who we need to be learning from. So anyway, a dieta, especially one that I was doing, which was going to be very powerful, where I would go into isolation. So I would be isolated in the Amazon jungle, further isolated from everybody who was living in that part of the jungle, and I would drink this sacred tree, along with 3 ayahuasca ceremonies per week. The dieta blew me to absolute bits. I was virtually incapacitated after this dieta. I spent the next 4 months walking around in a suicidal state, panicking every single moment. I spent 3 of the weeks in Miami. I would swim out as far away as possible from shore in the ocean. I would swim until I was totally exhausted. And I would look back and say, I'm not going to make it back, and get excited about it. I wanted to bypass the laws of spiritual suicide. I did not want to kill myself. I couldn't kill myself. I had to figure out a way to bypass the laws. No matter what happened, no matter how tired I was, I always made it back to shore. This conviction, determination, desire for life, desire to heal myself and give the gift back to the world took over me. Eventually, I was so desperate, ready to check out, ready to end it all. This is after 3 years of cleansing, detoxification, enemas, fasting, multiple 6 and 9 day fasts. Everything in my human power to heal my mental illness. Eventually, I gave up. I wanted to check out. I was ready. But before doing that, there was iboga. There was a sacred plant in Africa that has been curing heroin addicts. And I found out about a bunch of different centers in Costa Rica, but I didn't want to do iboga with a non-indigenous shaman because I was so lost in my head, so close to being lost in the sauce on a daily basis without any drugs, without any hallucinogens, mind-altering substances, that I was petrified of doing a hallucinogen without a shaman. I got in touch with a shaman in Africa. At this point, I had no money left, so I opened up 4 credit cards. Luckily, my credit has been perfect because I've been juggling this world of pain with the world of society and life. I opened 4 credit cards. I said, fuck it. This is my last chance at life. Money is pixels on a computer screen. Money means nothing to me anymore. Paid the shaman $4,000 via Western Union. Bought my flight. Got everything in order. I was 2 days away from going to Africa. And all of a sudden, God stepped in. The universe stepped in. It knew that would have been a bad idea for me. I was way too vulnerable. Way too lost. I started thinking about my fillings in my teeth. Non-stop. I started thinking about these fillings. I don't know why. It just kept coming to me. My metal fillings, my amalgam fillings in my teeth. I had one that spanned 3 teeth on the top side. And then I had one on the bottom. Let me get out of the sun here. And I had one on the bottom. So I had 2 really big mercury fillings in my teeth. And I just kept thinking about them. What if this is leading to my issues? What if mercury is really that toxic, can really fuck somebody up that much? I said, you know what? I don't want any variables going into this iboga experience. I got to get rid of these fillings. I opened up another credit card, a medical credit card. The next day, I got both my fillings taken out. I started doing research on the internet. I came across stories of people with mercury poisoning. They were the only people that I could resonate with, the only people that made any sense, the only people who had ever experienced such insane weirdness and bizarre symptoms and intensity and full body symptoms. I mean, I couldn't digest any food. Nothing would digest. It would ferment and sit. I would either throw it up or it would just sit there. I get my hair tested for mercury. 5 parts per million in my hair from these fucking fillings and from eating sushi. That's ridiculously high a number. I started on a Mercury Detox program, which is totally different than any other conventional detoxification that I was doing. Mercury is a whole other animal. Heavy metals are a whole different animal. You can't just get rid of heavy metals by juicing for 14 days. It does not work like that. It's a very, very tricky, dangerous, and sensitive subject. Anyway, I started doing a gut renewal program, healing the gut before even removing the mercury. I started doing Parasite Detox. Let me tell you something. I have been eating clean, organic for 3 years. I've been doing colonics, enemas, coffee enemas, fasting, every cleansing modality imaginable. And when I did this Parasite Detox, and I'm not talking about the pills that you put in your mouth, I'm not talking about the clove and the wormwood that you put in your mouth. I'm talking about doing essential oil suppositories, thanks to the Superman diet. Alexander Bloom, check him out. I was making suppositories with essential oils, putting them up that way, and I have shat out hundreds of worms in the past 2 months. Hundreds of worms, 12 inches long, 5 inches long, thick, thin, every species imaginable. And I'm in shape. I'm lean. I look good, but that has nothing to do with the truth of what's living in your gut. Your gut is this biome, this massive universe, 30 feet of intestines and all types of living bacteria and organisms in there. and the food that you're fueling yourself with, the chemicals that are just literally everywhere, they are destroying the gut and destroying the mind and destroying the heart. So to sum up my story, I'm about to be starting to clean myself of the mercury as my gut is infinitely better. I feel good. I'm still exhausted from this long 3-year journey. My mind feels sharp. I feel stronger. The despair isn't there anymore. I still have some anxiety, some funky thoughts, but it's only been 2.5 months from being in the depths of hell. And I hope you all read my story. My story goes way more into detail about this because it would just be too long of a video, and everybody's attention span is so fucked from cell phones. I mean, I can't even watch like a 20, 30-minute video on YouTube. It's hard to stay focused on somebody. It's hard for somebody to captivate me. But this is the world we live in. Anyway, what I wanted to get to is the important stuff. The important stuff is that we all detox. We all clean ourselves from these plastics and estrogens and chemicals and heavy metals and parasites. Look, you may think you're okay and you're healthy and nothing, and you're going through life, but I promise you can take it up tenfold. Your energy levels, your exuberance, your will, your passion, your heart, everything will grow infinitely with a strong detox program. And if you're suffering, of course, it's a necessary, mandatory thing. These mental illnesses are coming from degeneration of the brain and the gut that comes from toxicity. Most of us are born toxic. Most of us are just born with heavy metals, and they accumulate over time. Look at the foods that people are eating. Have you ever walked into any other grocery store except for a Whole Foods? It's a shit show. It's just refined carbohydrates, Oreos, graham crackers. The healthiest thing in someone's cart is oranges, which we shouldn't even be eating anyway, because we need to avoid all sugar. There's heavy metals everywhere, in your cookware, in our fucking teeth, in silver, in flatware that you eat with. Heavy metals are everywhere. In the tap water, the elixir of life is poisoned with pharmaceutical drugs, heavy metals, pathogenic bacteria, viruses. This is seriously World War III. People need to understand how serious this is. We are being poisoned. They are trying to kill us. And look, just because you haven't hit that rock bottom yet doesn't mean that this isn't real or that this isn't something that you need to concentrate on. You don't need to get to that point to start opening up to the truth and opening up to what's really going on in this world. I am telling you, there are dark spiritual forces in this world that want domination and control of the human population. They do not want people to thrive as the true spiritual beings that we are. See, we are spirits and souls that are in this temporary human vessel, this human meat body, experiencing planet Earth, which should be a paradise. It should be a DNA seed bank of all of the most magnificent trees and creatures and animals known to existence, all in one planet. And we're supposed to have abundance and love and joy and be appreciating it all. But we are fucking it all up and destroying everything. And it's not our fault. We've been misled. We've been lied to. There's been a huge sleight of hand, a massive scale government sleight of hand that needs to stop. And it starts at the personal level with change, with understanding that life is not about working, slaving away in a cubicle so you can get your car and your health insurance and eventually have a wife and kids. You think that's going to make you happy? Maybe a little bit. But the true jewels in life, listen, all of that stuff, the superficial spouses and the Range Rovers and the Rolex watches, that's the booby prize. That's the booby prize. Second place prize. They don't want you to know about the grand prize. First place prize. The love in your heart and in your belly. The warm, soft vibration that you feel in your body, that warm, everything's going to be okay. I love my life. Life is good. No one's out to get me. Humans are good. That it's a warm feeling. I can't explain it with words. It's not explainable. It's a warmth. It's a buzzing. It's a humming. People around you can feel it. You're just being. You're just loving. That's the real prize. That joy of existence. Life is not supposed to be this intense slave away until you retire, and then you're too sick to enjoy any of it. The happiness, the joy, the jewels, the real prize comes from the inside out, and it cannot happen unless you cleanse on all levels, mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically. It's done from every single vantage point. You have to cleanse. Watch your thoughts. Okay? Watch your thoughts. Watch what you eat. Pay close attention to the ingredients. Most of these things are poison. Many, many things are poison. And these doctors that have no idea. Look, conventional Western medicine, if life is this infinity sign, which it is, I promise you it is, I've seen the other side. I've seen the spirit realms. I've seen what's really happening. Western conventional medicine is trying to master this lower half of the infinity, running around in circles, not getting anywhere. Why? Because it cannot be done at the genetic level. It cannot be done with neurotransmitters. No. It's much more complex than that. Much more complex. Bottom line is that the real life's work is in a detoxification plan. Whatever that may be, start on the journey. Start cleaning your colon of old, putrefied, fermented fecal matter that we all have from growing up. You know, I see these kids everywhere. I see kids, little babies, 2 years old, eating graham crackers and frosted flakes. You're literally creating an environment for parasites and for darkness. This sugary, sweet environment. You're creating a haven for darkness. It's about detox, and it's about love, and it's about the true life's work. Look at all the movies. Pay attention closely to the movies. Avatar, Inception, V for Vendetta, countless movies. They all hint at the unbelievable possibility of human existence. Unbelievable different potential in the human experience. Yet they also hint at the currently controlled, dominating forces that are preventing that from happening. Fuck everything else. Forget it all. Just forget it. It's not going to make you happier. It's not. The true, deep, infinite well of joy and peace and serenity comes from a detox plan. Comes from self-love. So yeah. I think that's all for now.